there were so many guys get banged up today. To be quite honest, I'm going to have to get the list and see who it was. In terms of like a little bit longer term deals, Jabbo Lee, thank God. It was just a sprain.
Right.
So I think we all thought he tore his ACL again. He did. But just so ecstatic that Jabbo was okay. That same day, Will Hayes, a pretty gruesome looking injury, ended up being a high ankle sprain. So he'll be a week to 2 weeks. Brian Carter's still a week or so out. Broderick Yancey and Ramon Deloach returned to practice today, which was great. Keith Kirkwood is out, seeing the doctor. He might need surgery on his finger, and he'll be back, not too long from now. Jared Alwan's down right now. He had a shoulder. He's been dealing with that for a while, so we just tried to rest him the last 2 days. Kenny Harper, just gave him the day off, senior day off, which, if you know me, it's hard for me to do. But he played really hard on Saturday. Physical, took a lot of hits, and so I wanted to give him an extra day just to kind of recover. So.
Did he come? Was he here nonetheless?
Yeah, he was out of practice. He was coaching the young guys, making sure they have their mental focus every play, and I think that's always a great experience for those guys when they actually have to coach and see what it means to be a coach. So I think that was good for probably him.
Pretlow and Jihad Thomas kind of moved them around today?
Yeah, so Jihad was a great, kind of running back in high school, and so we moved him over just to see him carrying the ball, and then we have some guys banged up at safety, and obviously Pretlow, started for us, and so he wanted to go over and get some reps. So it's just about guys finding a way to get on the field. Some guys we played both ways today. Julio DeRozier took a couple reps on each side of the ball, so.
Pretlow is going to be our wide receiver this year.
I don't know. I don't know that. I think if he has a chance to come in and start first at safety, then I think he wants to start.
Gotcha.
We have a lot of depth at receiver, and he's a good receiver, and that's where he wanted to play. And I think eventually he'll develop. It's just going to take a little longer, to learn what we're doing because he hasn't done it. So we'll evaluate that day by day, to be quite honest, and see exactly where he fits.
Okay.
Where are the offensive and defensive lines right now that they got the pads on and can make contact?
I'm pleased with our first offensive line. I think they've played well. Eric Laughlin's played really, really well at right tackle. McGowan's done a great job at right guard. Shabazz is coming on at left guard. His quickness. Kyle's really, really steady all the time. And Deion Dawkins is playing tremendous football. On the second line, those guys are kind of fighting for jobs. McHale and Ruff have been running with the twosome, and they've done a nice job. I would prefer to redshirt freshmen on the offensive line is how you really build the program, but those guys might have to play, so we'll have to wait and see. Jacob Quinn's been rotating in with the ones at both guard and center, and Leon Johnson's the guy we thought maybe would start and have a chance to compete to start, and he's running with the twos right now, and just a matter of his consistency level. I'm trying to think of Samaje Reed is developing. Adrian Sullivan's running with the third group right now, and he's developing. But so we're probably in transition. But the first group I think has really gelled, and they're playing well together.
After the scrimmage and getting to watch some film, what do you, as far as adjustments, making today, and how did the team look with those adjustments?
Just personnel first. Trying to move some guys around, make sure that we solidify the depth. We know where everybody stands. So I think, just kind of who you saw running with the ones today was kind of who we felt coming out of the scrimmage deserved to run with the ones, and which young guys we think, this isn't a redshirt game, this kid's going to play. So there's that part of it, and then just continue to build what we're doing. I want us to keep playing harder and harder and harder. I thought our two-back run game looked good today. We really pounded the ball at times, and then so I think we're just trying to build it slowly. But I think the biggest thing is personnel, making sure we build around the guys that are going to play.
What about the kicking and punting game, Matt?
I'm really unsettled at punter. Right now, I'd say it's probably Colby Perry one, and Tyler, right there with him, Tyler Mays. And kicking, I'd probably say it's Tyler and Austin Jones with the, kind of bat right at ones with Coop a little bit behind him. So that was through the first scrimmage. We'll scrimmage again on Saturday, and I think that'll really help us really set the depth. But the big thing is just who makes the kicks in the pressure situations. And I think right now that would be Tyler and Austin in the kicking game. Kind of co-number one, and Cooper, right behind him.
And what about Cooper? Is he going to be doing the kickoffs?
He or Austin right now would probably won in the scrimmage the other day. I think Austin, Coop kicked one on the end zone, Austin kicked one on the end zone. So it's just going to be a matter of consistency, who can be consistent through the end of camp. So all three of those jobs are still up in the air, but people are starting to sort of stratify themselves.
When Cooper knocked that guy on his butt today, is that part of his job description?
Well, I think the guy was coming to block him, so and then poor Mark Tyson, he's one of the toughest guys on the team. Now he's have to live with that now that Coop put him on his butt. But I think he was coming to block him, and Coop reacted, so which is good. Coop's a football player.
Is that somewhat maybe a sign of frustration with Cooper? Am I reading too much?
No, I would no, not at all. I think Tyson was coming to block him,
Right.
so I think that was a good play for him. But
Players liked it.
yeah, I mean, I think Coop is going to at some point here figure it out and be just fine. I mean, it's just in practice he kicks just great. It's just in those moments we just need Coop to go out there and kick just like he does in practice. In those moments when he gets out in the field, and I have full confidence that he's going to do it at some point, and he's making real progress. It just has to take the next and final step, and I think he'll be a tremendous pressure kicker.
Is it mental with him? I mean, the guy's an Under Armour All-American, and we saw him struggle last year. Is it mental with him?
I don't think it's. I might even say the word mental. I mean, there's been some technical things, like some of the things with his plant foot the other day he could fix, but I just think it's confidence. It's like anything else in life. All of us, when we feel confident, we execute at a high level, right? And when we don't feel confident, and this is in all positions, we start to second guess. We start to, the quarterback, he'll wait an extra second to throw the ball, and then we're not as good as we want to be. And really, confidence only comes from within. It comes from demonstrated ability. You can't give guys confidence. You really can't rob guys of their confidence. Confidence comes from within. So I think Coop's getting more and more and more confident. He's going to go out and win these scrimmages, and he's going to nail a pressure kick, and the weight of the world's going to come off his shoulders, right? And he's going to all of a sudden, because it's only the first kick. It's only the first kick in the spring game. It's only the first kick in the scrimmage. Once it's the second kick, and kind of pressure's off, then his natural ability takes over. So, and I would say that about a lot of guys. A lot of guys right now on our team are putting too much pressure on themselves, and I want them to just go play confident. Just go be confident, man. Just run around, play the game that we've loved since you were a little kid, and do it the right way. Play with effort, but just have fun, and then everything else will take care of itself. And so, they're putting pressure on themselves at a lot of positions, and once they kind of get over that, then I think you'll see a good team.
How do you manage that as a coach, man? Coaching the confidence.
I just think I want players to know that I believe in them. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I'm going to, I'm very direct. My whole thing, the whole point of being really direct and telling guys what they're doing wrong is so that when you tell them what they're doing right, they can trust it, right? There's nothing worse than a player not knowing where the coach stands. We've all been around, whether it's a coach, someone at work, that you never really know where you stand with that person. It's really hard, right? So I'm going to be very direct with the guys and tell them, hey, you're doing this right, you're doing this wrong, so that they can focus on that. But, no one would be here if we didn't believe in them.
Right.
No one would be here if we didn't think, no one would be getting reps if we didn't think they could do it. And so just constantly telling guys, hey, I know you can do this. I know Jim Cooper can kick. I know Austin Jones can kick. And I know Tyler Mays can kick. And, they just have to know that. So I just think keep bringing it back to that, keep bringing it back to that. And it's the same at quarterback. It's the same at DB. Once those guys once they get that, once they have confidence in themselves, how else does Michael Jordan take all those game-winning shots? Knowing, we show them those kind of things. Like, hey, watch Jordan. Some of those guys might not know who Michael Jordan is. I have to probably tell Kevin Durant, and LeBron James. But I mean, just constantly show them what it means to compete at the end of the game.
How?
I saw you taking some snaps under center today. Where did you learn how to pitch the ball so well?
Well, I cheated. I put the ball in my hand, and then I didn't take the snap. But sometimes the coaches have to get in there and demonstrate. I think, I can't throw. I threw 1 7-on-7. I threw a pick after that. So now it's handoffs and the toss plays.
How far has Praise Martin come since he's come back?
It was a shame he got banged up today. I think he cramped up a little bit today. But when I was here as a player, as a coach, when Praise was here the first time, I knew Praise was really, really explosive. So I could see that he had physical ability. Then I left, and he was coming back. He's just got himself in shape. I think the biggest thing is he likes contact. He likes football. As he starts to get tired, his play declines. So by getting him in shape, having a really good all-season program, we're now seeing the after effects of that. He's playing at a nice level right now. He's rushing the passer. He's violent, in terms of his movements. So I expect him to have a really, really good year for us. And I hope today was just a cramp and then he'll be fine. But I expect Praise to be that next sort of pass rusher coming off the edge that can affect the game, which is really what we needed.
Are we looking at a guy who could potentially do? I see him out there with the ones.
Oh yeah, Praise came out of scrimmages. He's a starter right now for us. He's got a lot of guys hot on his tail. This Jacob Martin from Colorado is good.
Right.
Ellis is good. Chudnoff is good. Those guys all want to compete. Julian Taylor's a good player. Dogby's a good player. So we have a lot of defensive end depth. Mm-hmm. And So right now he's at the ones, but he's got a bunch of guys that are trying to catch him.
Was he kind of a curiosity to you when after he's gone from football as a coach? You just wonder, what's this guy going to be like when he steps back on it?
I think the biggest thing, I was just wondering, had he done anything? Was he going to be in shape? And
Did he surprise you?
yeah, he was in better shape than I thought. I thought, if you gave me 2 years away, I'd have come back about 275. So, but no, he surprised me in terms of he was in shape, and now we've just taken that shape and elevated it to where he's in football shape.
Who would you say is in the lead for the strong side linebackers position?
Well, Avery Williams came out of the scrimmage. He ran with the ones today. Zaid was with the twos, and we know our linebackers can kind of be right and left. So, at will, we have Matakevich. Obviously, and then we have Felton. Felton's playing really good football right now. We're going to try to find a way to, if he continues to play the way he's playing, get him in the starting lineup. So, I think there's three names there that will probably have the chance to compete and start with the ones.
Is there any go-to guy for kick returns? Because there were a few guys that had some good returns today.
In terms of the kick return game, I think Khalif is probably the starter right now. And then after that, whether it's Ship and Jihad, I don't necessarily know who that'll be yet. But I think right now we feel best about Khalif being back there.
I noticed Freddie Booth Lloyd had a big tackle in the Nutcracker/Oklahoma drill. How's he been doing in camp?
Good. He got banged up today, so I have to go in and check on him. But Freddie, Freddie just has to work himself into shape. He's got a ways to go to get himself into sort of football shape. But he's got a lot of talent, and he's a tremendous kid. I mean, he's just fun to be around. So hopefully that injury today wasn't too bad, and we can get him back out there soon.
Okay.